matching hundreds. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 15. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check pass.
Throwing to start the drive. Forbes looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Benson, and he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Check. 6-6. Pull it high. Smooth.
2nd and 6. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Five.
On 3rd down, Forbes into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down, went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Recon, 132 fighter. Crouch. Leo. Ready?
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Saquon Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. It's no secret that this is a team that's built on passing, but as you always tell me, you have to throw the run in there every now and then to keep that pass sharp.
Yeah, you have to, because otherwise, if they never have to worry about running the football, it is just a controlled sprint to your quarterback, and eventually, you're calling on your backup quarterback.
But they got to do better than that last go-around. They went in the wrong direction. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 42 yards.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force him into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Deep grip.
Back to throw. Forbes. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Wilson throwing again. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the... The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Saquon Barkley running right. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Check. Check hot route. Clear. Ready?
On 3rd down, Childress. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there the defense won the battle. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson finds his tight end Ingram. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing is Wilson. Now Finley lost it. And who's got it? The Giants!
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. From the gun on 3rd down. Forbes looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They toss to Ingram. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Is it bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw on 2nd down, Forbes. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To throw on 3rd down, Forbes. He finds Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's one heck of a 3rd down conversion, a pickup of 39. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Slip, 3, 218, let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Pick it up. And we're going 37's the Mike. Mike 37. Hey! we go. 37's the Mike. Mike 37. We own this.
5. Operating from the gun. Forbes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Forbes. This is Coleman with the ground. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. That time a 6-play drive, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check three.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground, and they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the 2nd quarter. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. In that game, all square as they take on the visiting Seahawks. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the 2nd half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 68 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Back to throw. Forbes. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal.
Check. Second and goal at the 6-yard line.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And it's caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. On 4th down, Forbes, and that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And fights through one man. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They go play action here on first down. That's into the hands of Pascal. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. A good throw here finding Pascal. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they...
It's a foot race. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, 93 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Now the try here for the point after. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Just like that. Kill, kill, kill.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Middle of the field, he finds Pascal. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson taken in by Pascal out left. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And the pressure gets to him again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Go now. 15, Ronnie. 15, Ronnie. Hey, Delta. There we go. 37's the mic. Let's go.
Off the play fake. Forbes. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Interception all day, baby.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
You. Yes. Ready.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Go. Kill.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Forbes. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Giants on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Smooth. 56, get it.
Throwing on first down. Forbes. Completes it to Coleman. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Go.
2nd and 2. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. From the gun, it's Wilson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw again is Wilson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Forbes. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Forbes eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise or throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
37's to Mike. Mike 37. Not today, you are. Not today.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Forbes. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. On the ball. What? 56.
On 4th down, Forbes. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This one complete to Ingram. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson throwing right, and that's complete. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Wilson will throw again. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau, and that will shave one more off this lead. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but Probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Again, it's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
He's coming. We got double up.
Hey!
If you kill it, motion me out.
Hey, Zoo!
56, Mike.
Now!
Operating from the gun, Forbes.